Hello, happy Friday. Just having some more coffee. Before I start today, we're gonna make puppy chow. It's a snack that I grew up with in the Midwest. It's peanut butter, chocolate, rice cereal, and then whatever mix-ins you want to add to make it a fun treat. Hi, Jennifer. So I'm gonna make that, but before I do, I want to show you, I had a question about keeping brown sugar from getting clumpy and hard and unusable. So I thought I'd show you a couple ways to deal with that. One is you can put a piece, like a slice of bread, in the container, whatever your container is. You can just stick it in here. I think some people use a slice of apple, and you would put it in the container and close it and leave it overnight, and then when you take it out, the bread will be completely hard. Oh, hi, Janine and her coworkers. Janine's going to be eating this tonight. Maybe, unless her husband eats it all. So then when you take the bread out, it'll be hard, and the brown sugar will be nice and soft. Should be like what it looks like. Hi, Amy. When you get it out of the container. The other thing I like to do, I've been soaking these, and I put them, if you're interested in my Amazon shop, it's amazon.com/shop/bigflavors. There's a little terracotta bear. I think it's just terracotta. You soak it in water for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I've probably had it in for a half hour. Just kind of blot it dry. And then you can stick it right inside whatever container you're using. Every couple weeks you might need to soak it again, but and you close it, and that should keep moisture in here so that it doesn't dry out. Hi, Amber. So I like using this method. You could also put it directly in the bag, so you could put the little terracotta bear. There's like discs and other shapes too, but there's bear. And then my favorite method is, you guys have seen, I have these little like containers. I think they're PrepWorks, progressive containers. This one is specifically made for brown sugar, and it has a holder for a disc of terracotta, so it's not actually touching it. Not that it really matters if it does, but you just snap it in right here, and that keeps it in with this, keeps the air inside here moist, and keeps it from hardening. And this container is specifically made for brown sugar, and it holds, I just put an entire 2-pound bag of brown sugar in there. So if that's something of interest to you, I highly recommend them. They're not expensive, and it saves you from having to deal with hardened crystallized brown sugar when you're trying to do delicious things. So that was my little sidebar. I hope everyone's having a good week. Are you guys familiar with puppy chow? Because when I moved to New York, most of my husband's friends had no idea what I was talking about when I told them I was making puppy chow for our Super Bowl party. One girl was from the Midwest, and she was like, I know puppy chow, this stuff is amazing. And so I don't know if it's a Midwestern thing. Some people call it Muddy Buddies. I just made it for the program I've been doing at my local library with the teenagers, and I had them do some food trivia to compete for mix-ins for their puppy chow. So it's a very simple recipe. You need a box, 12-ounce box of rice square cereal. So it's gluten-free, not that it means that it's healthy, depending on what mix-ins you put in here. So you can use Rice Chex. I'm using a store brand. I like getting it in a bowl first, because that way when your fillings are melted, or when the chocolate and peanut butter is melted, you can just pour it right on and stir it. So then I use, in a microwave safe bowl, you're going to add 1 cup of chocolate chips and a 1/2 cup of creamy peanut butter. You could also use almond butter, cashew butter. I haven't tried with any. Never heard of it in Michigan. Oh, so maybe it's not a Midwestern thing. I don't know. I guess I need to do some research on the history of this dish, because they all kind of looked at me like I was crazy at first until they tried it, and then it's like the sweet and salty addictive thing. Hi, Nicole. So chocolate chips, I use semi-sweet in this. I like dark chocolate, but not everybody does, so I haven't tried this with dark chocolate. And it's also a fun way to kind of clean out your snack cabinet, like when you add the mix-ins, because I grew up, oh, these are mini chocolate chips, okay. I grew up only having it plain, just coated with the chocolate, peanut butter, and powdered sugar, but adding a bunch of mix-ins is a fun way to theme it if you're having like a baby shower or a party with a color scheme or something like that. So you can kind of have fun with it. Like I have half a bag of mini marshmallows. I've got some white chocolate chips, peanuts, all sorts of stuff. It's also like a good last minute, like people are coming over, what am I gonna give them to snack on? Okay, so just put these together. I wouldn't use chunky peanut butter here because you want this to be smooth to coat the cereal. And then use microwave. You can also do this on the stovetop. I think it's easier in the microwave, but you could use a double boiler if you wanted. So you're gonna melt it in 30-second increments till it's smooth, about 1.5 to 2 minutes. So stirring it every 30 seconds or so just helps make sure it melts evenly and smoothly. Oh, it's so nice to see so many of you today. If you have requests for next week or, any upcoming week, let me know. Sometimes it's tricky to figure out things that are good for making live versus, posts. I'm getting the broiler kebab sheet pan meal that I made a few weeks ago for you guys. I'm getting that post finalized and that'll be up soon. And I did link this recipe. It's something I posted a long time ago, but I'm in the middle of revamping it. So you'll see a couple new photos and just making it look a little prettier. Hi, Rob. So again, whatever types of mix-ins you like, I like trying to do some sweet, some salty. I've got salted pretzel rods, peanuts, have a bag of open mini M&Ms. I bought regular size M&Ms today because I didn't realize that I already had those. The library program I did, we also used Reese's Pieces and some crunched up Butterfinger bars that were a big hit. It was cute. One of the teenagers, all he wanted was the peanuts. He's like, does anybody else want peanuts? And he just went to town. It was the puppy chow coated and a whole bunch of peanuts. It's like all the other kids were fighting over, or not fighting over, but they were all like the candies and all this stuff. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. There's little badges of flair now that tells me who's top fans. Rob says he's got a little diamond icon and it says top fan. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate you hanging out in my kitchen. So this is almost fully melted. Once it is, we're going to add in a little bit of vanilla and some kosher salt. That's totally optional. When I used to make it years ago, I didn't put them in and it turns out just fine. But see, you can see it's nice and smooth now. So peanut butter here. Okay, so I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt and a teaspoon of vanilla and stir it right in. Just till it's incorporated. And then this is the part that gets a little bit messy, but you're going to pour it into the cereal and coat it. I find if you use the biggest bowl you have, that's a good, I don't know if it's the top or if they have for multiple top fans. Hi, Amanda. How do I get to be top fan, Rob? Woo. So, going to pour this right on top. And when you're mixing it, you'll probably think there's no way this is going to fully coat it, but it will. And even if it's a little patchy, it's still fine because I'm going to toss a bunch of powdered sugar on here. And that's what gives it, I guess, the look of puppy chow. My son was asking, I brought some to the bus stop the other day. I'm just kind of gently scooping from under and trying not to spill it everywhere. My son was asking why it was called puppy chow, and I said, I think it's because it looks like the shape of puppy food, but I'm not sure. And my son's been pretending to be a puppy lately, so I might do a 2 utensil stir here. So the kids had a lot of fun doing this at the library program the other day. It gets messy, and then, you know, stuff spills out, and you get to taste it and QC it. So, and this, you can make it at like a day or 2 ahead of time if you want. Just make sure you keep it in an airtight container. And if you're going to keep it for more than a couple days, if somehow it lasts that long, you'll want to you might want to pop it in the fridge, but I don't know if you add mix-ins. I don't know. Some of them might get kind of soggy in the fridge, so I doubt it'll last that long anyway. All right, so it smells ridiculous in here in the best way. This is all coated with the chocolate peanut butter mixture. And now I'm going to transfer it. It popped on earlier this week, no idea why, but of course I'm a top fan and all, but that's really funny. I think Facebook's trying to experiment with like different flair and stuff like that. All right. I find the easiest way to coat it is to put it in a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. It's just the right amount to fit in here. You can try doing it in the bowl. It gets really messy. I've seen some people do it on a sheet pan and like sift the powdered sugar so there's no clumps. I don't want to make something like this fussy, so I don't bother. But I'm going to do 1.5 cups of powdered sugar in the bottom of the bag. Come on. All right, and this is another one of those same brand, and it's got this one's for powdered sugar. It's got like a little bar to level it off, and then this little thing up top, if you're curious. I know I've had questions about these before. And when we were in Atlanta last week, my sister-in-law had the same ones too. So this comes with a little measuring spoon, and this thing slides. So you can, if you want to use this as like a dusting wand, if you have treats, there's little holes on the side, and you can just kind of dust powdered sugar on things. So it's a kind of fun one. They have ones that I think that have a built-in scoop for coffee, all sorts of different stuff. But I like these seal really nicely. They stack nicely. They don't take up a lot of space. All right, let me see if there's any questions before I start powdered sugaring. Okay, powdered sugar's in here. And then you're gonna get the coated puppy chow into the bag using a scoop or a bowl at first. Is kind of helpful because, again, it does get kind of messy, but it's easy. Oh, also something learned from a program I did at the library a couple days ago. If you use, like, say, a store brand of zip top bags, be really careful because sometimes the seals don't stay sealed very well, and it doesn't always go well. You'll end up with powdered sugar everywhere. We almost had a breach at that program. It was fine, but it could have been a very large mess. Okay. So as the chocolate peanut butter mixture cools, it kind of hardens a little bit, so sometimes you'll get kind of stickier chunks of the cereal together. All right. So it's all in the bag. And then, oh, Amanda, you can come get some really. Hi, Casey. So seal it well. But really, Amanda, like, text me or something after. And you're just going to shake it until it coats everything. It looks like a hot mess, but I promise it's really good. This is a really fun thing for kids to help with too. The kids the other day all wanted to have turns, shaking their bags, and you can even, you know, do a gentle little toss back and forth if you want. All right, so this is pretty well coated. I'm going to put it in a bowl, clean bowl, so you guys can see. When you open it, you can see everything's coated in powdered sugar. And if it's not quite fully coated, you can give it a stir, and it'll be fine. Make it a little bit of a dust storm. So I've got some that didn't get totally coated, but looks pretty good. So this is what the pieces look like once they're coated. They're not sticky anymore because they're coated with the powdered sugar. And nice and crispy, kind of tastes like a peanut butter cup. And then it's great just like this, like without anything additional. But it's fun to add extras in there. So, let's see, I meant to bring another bowl in here, but just give you an idea of what it's like when you add other stuff. I always like keeping some of it plain. I use all of my counter space when I do these for you guys because I can't really clean as I go. So I'm going to throw some mini marshmallows in here. I've got some salted peanuts. And really anything that you have like in your snack section that's sweet and salty is good. I got mini M&Ms. I have, like I said, I'm mixing Nestle chocolate chips and Ghirardelli white chocolate chips. And this also stretches the amount that it makes, like if you're having a bigger party. Hi, Kasha. This is lunch, yes. It's going to be dessert tonight. I mean, I'll definitely snack on a little, but we're having some friends over for cards later. These pretzel sticks I got are gigantic, so when I have been making it with these, I just kind of break them in half. There was someone was asking about adding Skittles, and I was like, I don't know that that would go, but if you like it, go for it. But this is a good one to like have a big bowl of plain puppy chow out, and then you can have small bowls of toppings. Everybody can have their own either little like sandwich bag or bowl to add their own stuff in and make it however they like. So got all this up top. Just give it a stir. Kind of like trail mix, but good. So that's it. It's really easy. It's just like comfort food. Kids love it. I've been trying to introduce more people to it out here in New York because it's just not really that popular so far that I've seen. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. Like I said, the recipe link is above. I'm still in the middle of updating it, but the recipe is there if you want to make it. And if you do, tag me in social media at Big Flavors, on Twitter at Big Flavors Blog, and you can use hashtag CookBigFlavors. And have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.